Welcome to today's video, Isaiah 43 verse 4 explained. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honourable, and I have loved thee, therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. In this verse, God is speaking through the prophet Isaiah to his people Israel. He is expressing the deep value and love he has for them. God calls Israel precious in his sight, which shows a unique and special relationship. Being precious means being treasured, valued, and deeply cared for. God is not indifferent toward his people. Instead, he sees them as highly significant. When God says thou hast been honorable, he is pointing out that Israel has a place of dignity and worth in his eyes. Honor in this context means being esteemed or respected. Even though Israel had made many mistakes and often strayed from God, his commitment to them did not change. This shows God's faithfulness and the truth that he does not base his love on our perfection but on his own nature and promises. Then God says, I have loved thee. This statement is simple yet powerful. It shows the foundation of the entire relationship between God and Israel. God's love is the reason for everything he does for his people. His love is not just a feeling, but a commitment and action. It is steadfast, unchanging, and sacrificial. The love God expresses here is not just for Israel in the Old Testament, but it is a glimpse of how God values all who belong to him. The next part of the verse says, Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. This is a poetic way of showing how far God is willing to go for the sake of his people. Historically, this can refer to times when God delivered Israel from their enemies and allowed other nations to be defeated so that Israel could be saved. It is a promise of protection, deliverance, and the lengths God would go to preserve his people. For Christians, this verse can also be seen as a foreshadowing of the ultimate sacrifice God made in sending Jesus Christ. God was willing to give what was most precious, his own Son, so that we could have life. The principle is the same. God's people are precious, honored, and loved, and he will move heaven and earth to save them. This verse is a reminder of our worth in God's eyes. No matter what the world says or how others may treat us, God calls us precious. He finds us honorable, not because of our own deeds, but because he has chosen to love us. This love gives us identity, security, and hope. When we understand how deeply we are loved by God, it changes the way we see ourselves and the way we treat others. Isaiah 43 verse 4 teaches us to rest in God's love, to remember our value comes from him, and to trust in his commitment to us. He will go to great lengths to protect, deliver, and care for those who belong to him.